because all three of them were women, we also sent them flowers on Mother's Day and on Women's Day, okay, in Romania, because it's like the first and 8th of March. So just to keep them engaged. It's just a very simple something. Even if you don't send them flowers, your organization can't afford flowers at a given point. Send them an e-card. Like we just send them something. Send them, hey, it's Mother's Day from Aspire Academy. We really like to thank you for your support. And wish you all the best for Mother's Day. And if you have kids, like Happy Kids Day or something like that. And this is what we call key account management. And then when you start like the next phase for sponsoring your project, these will be the first people you write to. And you've already had an email with them like a month ago, they still know your name. They say, hey, this project is happening again. Would you like to have a meeting and talk about it? And you're more likely to get recurring sponsorships from the people you have engaged. It's much harder to find new sponsors than actually keep the ones you already have. So this is an investment any organization should really make into like keeping sponsorships going. Okay, so I think we're supposed to finish at 12, and it's like 8 minutes to 12, right? Supposed to finish at 12? Nobody has knocked on my door, so we'll just have a Q&A. If anything, this is the moment you can ask stuff. People usually ask a lot of stuff, I don't know. Okay.
For example, when you apply for programs, you usually don't go through this process with the meeting. Like, okay. And when you have the front end and the back end people,
okay.
Like if you have them in your organization, do all of them work on the application, or like how do you approach it in a different way, or just do the research, the back end people prepare the proposal, and you send it?
What kind of program are we talking about?
Well, for example, like in organizations I have worked with, let's say in Norway, there is a big student union that funds different student activities. You just need to send a proposal describing the activity, and if they decide that it fits the criteria, they give you money.
It's your choice, I think. What I would do is, you just have to write the application and send it. If the person who has come up with the idea isn't good enough to write out the idea, get someone who can write it out to talk to that person, and get that person to write the proposal. Mm-hmm. And then read the proposal amongst the team, maybe. Read it, like, get feedback from a couple of people so it has different perspectives. But yeah, I don't think everyone has to write it, but definitely someone who can write it should write it, and it's really like good at writing. Next.
So we have the back team who makes the templates, make the design, make the presentation.
Okay.
The background, they do the background as well, and the front team can do it as well. I mean, preferably the front team does it as well.
Okay. They could do it if they have free time and they want to. But the front end team should spend time reading everything that was provided by the back end team. We're really like using that information to go to the meeting, right?
Yes, and I just wanted to ask you, how do you manage the front team? Because in my case, I do know people like this, but they're so egocentric.
They are, yeah. Totally agree. Maybe it was easier for me to recruit these kind of people, because Aspire Academy, when you recruit for the program, we recruit highly gifted and highly motivated people who try to have already done something, like they're head of NGOs, maybe they're really successful in their careers and so on, or they graduated a prestigious university and they've done some awesome volunteer work. So people who can work, who know how to work, and are multi-talented. So you recruit these people and you find their motivational stick, right? There's the motivational stick. You can beat them with it or you can hang a carrot, right? So I would say the motivational stick for these kind of people is that they want a bigger network. Okay, so the way policy I used when I recruited for the front end team was you have the opportunity to meet and connect with CEOs of various companies. You meet people from all over companies, which means that you will later on have contacts when you're looking for a job or looking for a better opportunity in your life. Yes, and this is the compensation and the difference between the front team and the back team. Like the front end team actually gets to meet people, and if they impress those people, they have business contacts which they will later use. Okay? This is like a huge reward for some people that are really successful at doing this. Whereas the back end people won't really be doing this because they don't benefit directly from this. We done? Huh? Yeah. You seem so sad.
Oh, no, I'm trying to be quiet.
Okay, so like the last point I'd like to share with you is that you have to get someone to pass it forward. We're talking about getting some people to be there for 2 years, and after you have like a person who goes through the entire process and meets sponsors, when you follow up in the next year with people going to the same sponsors, take the new member of the front end team maybe to meet the sponsors and keep the contact alive. Or else people will be leaving, okay, and people your front end person will be leaving with all the contacts, and you won't have access to the sponsors again. You have to start from scratch and build up new relationships. So what you want to do is transfer those relationships from the old person to the new person. Okay. So I'll take any more questions in the break because apparently we have to stop. Thank you for coming. It's a great audience.